Folks, welcome back. I have your latest home prices and insights for Peel and Durham region for week ending June the 15th, 2022. Here's a situation that the solution could help a lot of you that maybe are in the market looking to buy. So we're working with a buyer client. There's a house that they like and we put an offer in. Now, our buyer client is pre-approved for a mortgage and we put the closing date 2 days before their mortgage expires. Now this is very important to our client naturally, because if it's after their pre-approval expires, the rate is significantly higher and it would significantly increase their monthly payments and obviously their mortgage overall. So we put the closing date 2 days before and we send in the offer. The offer comes back, and although there's a counter offer, the price has changed. The big issue was not the price. The big issue was the closing date. The sellers changed our closing date and put it 1 week later, just 1 week. Sellers probably thought, what's the big deal? 1 week is not going to change much, but it changed a lot for our clients. So I called the agent. I said, look, you changed our closing date. It's very important that we have the closing date we put. It's just 1 week, so it shouldn't be a problem for the seller. Well, the listing agent says, no, it is a problem. The sellers absolutely cannot leave their house because of other commitments that they have. They can't leave until that date, which was only 1 week after our closing date. I've been in this situation before, and so I say, look, to the listing agent, I say, let me speak with my clients for a minute. I might have a solution. Let me get back to you. So I speak with my clients, the buyers, and I say, look, here's the situation. You need this closing. They can't move out till that date. There's just a week difference. What if we close on a date that you say, however, we allow the sellers to stay in the house for 1 more week before you move in? Would you be okay with that? My buyers were extremely happy. If that solution worked, we don't mind them staying a week. We can stay with family. We're okay, and we're okay as long as we can keep our same mortgage rate. We're happy. So I call the listing agent. I explain to her the situation. She speaks with the seller. Seller's like, oh, you could close early, and as long as we can stay, we're happy. So that was the agreement. Everybody is happy, and this is going to come up more and more as pre-approvals expire. It didn't matter before when the rates were so low or unchanged or dropping, where your pre-approval expires and the rate is lower. It matters now that if your pre-approval expires, rates are higher. It makes a difference, and for many, a significant difference. So strategy matters. In this situation, a win-win solution for both sides, a fair win-win solution for both sides makes all the difference. Experience in us being through the situation in the past really helped out. Strategy really does matter. Who you hire matters. If you feel this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. Let's get into the numbers. If you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, really simple. Below this video, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that. Book a time that's convenient for you. This way, I'll know ahead of time and I'll make sure my schedule's organized so we can talk to you about whatever's on your mind. And if you're looking for an awesome 2-bedroom condo with a huge den in the heart of Mississauga, check out the video at the end of this video. Let's get into the numbers. Okay, so I have here, I've got Mississauga in blue, orange is Brampton, and the burgundy is Durham. For Durham, I'm using Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby as my Durham sample, and this is just for detached properties. And big difference in prices. From the Durham price to Brampton, there's about as far as average sold price goes, about $125,000 difference in average sold price. And from Brampton to Mississauga, there's a $320,000 difference or so in average sold price. So big difference in areas and prices. We're going to start off with Mississauga. Again, just detached properties. There's a whole year here broken down by week. So last week, 52 detached properties were sold in Mississauga. 8 of those were at $2 million or more, and both are down. So sales are down from the previous week. Properties selling at $2 million or more are down from the previous week, and average sold price is down from the previous week. It's now sitting at $1,603,000. Average sold price in Mississauga has come way down from the peak. Now, it's really interesting actually when you kind of, well, interesting to me, maybe not to everybody, but I look at this and I think, you know, from the high peak of over 2.1 million, we dropped right down, and although it's been coming down still, once we dropped, we kind of stayed there for a bit and then came down further. Prices are way down from the peak of February. 1,603,000 is 4% higher than what it was a year ago. So average sold price is 4% higher. Median price is 5% higher than what it was a year ago. And if we go back 3 months, median price used to be just over 1.6 million. It's now at 1,468,000. So average sold price has come down. Median price has come down. It's very clear, like there's no mistake in that prices are coming down. When we look at sales year to date, January 1st to June 15th, there are 37% fewer sales this year than last year. So sales are more than a third less, or a third fewer this year than last year. Average, the amount of properties selling at list price or more. There's been some comments saying that, you know, this selling at list price or more is not a metric that really helps determine anything. You're wrong if that's what you're thinking. When prices were really strong and we were in our peak, 80%, 90% properties were selling at list price or more. Now we're sitting at 29% of the properties selling at list price or more. What's changed? Well, first of all, there's always going to be properties selling at list price or more. But the fact that that percentage is so much lower now speaks to the confidence of the sellers, speaks to the confidence of the realtors even suggesting that we should price it this way. It speaks to the confidence of the market in general. As prices are going up, more and more properties selling at list price or more. As prices are coming down, more and more traditional prices is happening where that's the price we want and you can negotiate down a little bit. So it is a metric. It's not perfect. None of these numbers are perfect, but they give you some insight that you wouldn't have without those numbers. Looking at listings year to date, there's 13% fewer listings this year than last year. We listed 149 detached properties in Mississauga, and months of inventory is up slightly. It's now sitting at 2 months of inventory. And the average days on market is also up. It's sitting at 17. That's Mississauga. Months of inventory is going up. As months of inventory go up, prices tend to come down. Let's look at Brampton. If we look at sales, in middle of February, we were selling 130 in a week. We're now down to 58 detached properties being sold in 1 week. And this is our spring market. We're supposed to be busier now. So 58 detached properties sold. Four of those were at $2 million or more. Average sold price went up a little bit from the previous week. It's now sitting at $1,277,000. And I might sound like a broken record, but again, our peak down. If we go back to September, October, we went up and now we're coming down, and it almost seems we're coming down aggressively. If we look at average sold price compared to a year ago, the orange is this year, the blue is a year ago, the same week a year ago. 3 months ago, we were 30% higher than last year's average sold price. we're now sitting at 4% higher than last year's average sold price. Median price is 11% higher than last year's median price. Excuse me. Median price now is $1,256,000. 3 months ago, it was 1.4, 1.5. Again, now it's $1,256,000. That's the median price. Sales, you can see the orange, it's coming down. Last year's sales in blue, so much higher. In fact, if we talk about year-to-date sales, 41% fewer sales this year than last year. 41%. That's a big difference in sales. Amount of property selling at list price or more. We used to be in the 90s. Now, less than it's 31% selling at list price or more. Year-to-date listings, 15% fewer listings this year than last year. Last week we listed 205 detached properties in Brampton. And if we look at months of inventory, we were at 0.6 months of inventory middle of March. Now we're middle of June. We're at 2.3 months of inventory. You could see it just climbing up. And average days on market used to be 6. It's now 15. Prices are coming down. Days on market are going up. Months of inventory are going up. That's Brampton. Let's look at Durham. Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby is my Durham sample. Sales are down over the last few weeks. We sold 58 detached properties in Durham. So again, Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby. We sold 58 detached properties there. Average sold price has come down from the previous week. It's now at $1,152,000. And if I take a step back, average sold price went up, but it looks like it's coming down quicker than it went up. Compared to last year, well, we used to be 25%, and even if I go back further, 30% higher than last year's average sold price. For this week that we're in right now, week ending June 15, average sold price is 2% lower than what it was a year ago. Median price is 1% lower than what it was a year ago. 3 months ago, median price was over 1.3 million. Median price now is 1,118,000. Of the 58 that did sell in Durham, 52% sold at list price or more. So a little bit over half. It used to be 90, 94% just 3 months ago. 90, it's like all of them. All of them used to sell at list price or more. Now it's about half. Year-to-date sales were 31% fewer sales this year than what we were selling last year. Listings are only 6% fewer listings this year than last year. And months of inventory, excuse me, just like the other regions, months of inventory is going up. It's now sitting at 1.2. Let's look at condos in the Peel region. Now, most of these condos are being bought and sold in Mississauga, but we're looking at Peel region as a whole. Sales are way down. We were selling 100 in October, in the high 90s in March. Last week, week ending June 15th, we sold 32 condos in Peel region. That's it, just 32. Average sold price did go up slightly. It's now sitting at $638,000, and we saw a massive incline in prices for condos, and now it's coming down just as aggressive as it went up. Compared to last year, $638,000 is 13% higher than where average prices were a year ago. So condos, even though prices are coming down, they're still doing quite well year over year. We used to be 28, 29% higher than last year. We're now down to 13%. Median price is 16% higher than what it was a year ago. Year-to-date sales, 22% fewer sales this year than what we were selling last year. This is for condos. And listings, 5% more sales this year. Sorry, 5% more listings this year than what we were listing last year, year-to-date. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice here. And when we look at months of inventory, I was saying how aggressively prices could be coming down. We used to be at 0.4, and in just 3 months, I mean, this is like a ski slope here. We're now sitting at 3.5 months of inventory. We're right at the borderline of being a balanced market. And if you're in the field looking for condos, it's going to very much feel like you're in a balanced market. Some people even acting like it's a buyer's market. We're not there yet, but we're getting closer. Average days on market is now sitting at 19. It used to be 6, then 8, then 9. It's now 19, the average days on market. Here's a quick summary. Months of inventory has gone up across the board. As it gets higher, prices tend to come down, more room to negotiate. That doesn't mean it's a cakewalk, that you can just get whatever price you want. It doesn't mean that you're not sometimes in competition. It's still there, whether you're competing on offer night or not. So who you hire matters. Strategy matters. Working with the right people will help you get the deal that you want and the house that you want. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day. Let me introduce you to Unit 1906 at 339 Rathburn Road West. This is a big condo at 948 square feet, has 2 bedrooms, a large den, 2 full bathrooms, floor-to-ceiling window, tons of features. And the amenities here, apart from the usual, has an indoor pool, a tennis court, and a bowling alley. Check it out.